Next up on the day's other headlines, Rahm's political ambitions and vacations as a human right. What would you rather pay for your tax dollars, bank gambling or poor people's vacations? Probably neither. First, will Rahm Emanuel's next job be mayor of Chicago? In a PBS interview, the White House chief of staff confirming longstanding rumors about his political ambitions in the Windy City, but he stressed he would not run against the man that he once worked for, current Chicago Mayor Richard Daley.
I hope Mayor Daley seeks re-election. I will work and support him if he seeks re-election. But if Mayor Daley doesn't, one day I would like to run for mayor of the city of Chicago.
Well, here to mix it up is our panel, founder of FireDogLake.com, Jane Hampshire, and associate editor for the Washington Examiner, J.P. Freire. I don't know what to do with Rahm and his Chicago ambitions, but J.P., a man could dream, can he?
Well, a man can dream, but man, he's really kissing the feet of Mayor Daley there. I've never really heard of an announcement to run for office that was conditional. You know, I mean, you know, this is sort of how Daley works.
Listen, he worked for the guy. You know, he maybe he does worship Mayor Daley's feet.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, everyone that ever worked with Daley pretty much does that, because that's the Chicago machine. It shows the kind of power that Mayor Daley had, and that, well, frankly, President Obama never really fought as senator or as a member of the Chicago political establishment.
Yeah, I mean, you're making a couple of leaps there, but
it's all part of the history.
I understood. Jane, your thoughts on Rahm and his political ambitions, both in and outside the White House?
Well, I think that he at one point wanted to run for Speaker of the House. That was his big ambition. So this is a bit of an adjusted political bit of calculation, I think. He has got a lot of Goldman Sachs and banking baggage in his background. Magster, Capital, the ones that gave him all the money that are caught up in
Magnetar,
Magnetar. And so, you know, he's probably looking at Chicago and thinking this is a place that might not hold that against him as much as a run for Speaker might.
Yeah, all right. The European Union, as you may or may not have heard, has declared vacationing a human right, and it is hatching a plan to get taxpayers in Europe to foot the bill for people too poor to pay for their own vacation. Under the plan, the EU would cover 30% of the cost of trips for eligible seniors, the disabled, and the young. The plan could cost European taxpayers hundreds of millions of euros per year. Jane, would you rather pay taxes for vacations or too big to fail bank gambling?
Well, we just force people to buy insurance policies from insurance companies that they hate. At least people like vacations.
That's true. She's got a good point, JP. Being forced to buy health insurance or forced to pay for a vacation, what would you rather have your government force you to do?
I would rather have my government force me to have a job so I could pay for things that I like.
Well, that wasn't on the list. You either have to pay for bank gambling and fraud,
look,
you have to buy health insurance without reform to the health insurance industry, or you got to pay for somebody else's vacation. What you doing?
Yeah, but President Obama said that we don't have to deal with these false choices. But I would probably go with the vacation, sure. I mean, but here's the thing. I mean, one of the things that they said was that this is an indicator. Vacation time is an indicator of how well an economy is doing. How about growth? And let's look at the growth rate for Europe. It's been terrible. I mean, the things that are necessary for an economy to survive are to have a robust business economy. And they were just dealing with a problem with Greece. I mean, Greece is insolvent, and they were freaking out about this. Now they're talking about giving everyone a vacation. This is nuts.
All right. The issue, I can't get it out of my head. You talk about the development of our businesses, JP. I got to tell you, as long as our politicians have banks that are vampires as opposed to lending and investing, it's going to be hard to develop a business in this town. Nice shot on the health care there, Jane. I wouldn't have thought of that one, but I liked it. JP, it's always a pleasure. We'll talk to you both sooner rather than later. Still ahead.